Hey guys, happy, what day is it? I forget sometimes. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple little quick things about gut health because I know that it's super important that, when I got nominated for my PhD, honorary PhD in nutrition in 2019, I was grateful. Whether I get it or not, it's not a determining factor of the amount of people that I'm helping. And we get a lot of these things out here on YouTube, on social media about, gut health and immune health. And, just a prime example today, I was just listening to a couple of my clients talk about their sleep, talk about their gut health. And I constantly do these updated studies and feedback questionnaires. And I ask them, what is the most important thing when it comes to your health or to your gut health, okay, in particular? And it goes back to richness and diversity, okay? And the most important thing about richness and diversity is really understanding that that is the most important thing when it comes to your health, especially when it comes to your gut. Because what you'll realize is that this thing, richness and diversity, and I'll put a link to a PDF that you can take and read, but it's really important. And I teach this to all my people, and it makes them lose weight, it makes them lose body fat, it makes them sleep better, it makes them notice the bloating go away. We do detoxes on a regular basis. And I'll put that in the chat here too, in the bottom of this video too. But one of the most important things is this richness and diversity, and you have to remember that 80% of your immune system lines in your gut, and so it's really a healthy, resilient gut microbiome that actually keeps this immune system strong and stable. Okay. And so I'm always really big on getting people to understand that. And so when you look at richness and diversity, and when you're looking at your gut microbiome, richness and diversity are the two most important concepts. And they're worth taking a full understanding of because they're, as I said, they're the most important. And yes, I'm wearing my wife's glasses, so it's funny. So the richness in this is the total number of species, okay, in your gut biome. Okay, diversity is the amount of individual bacteria from each of those species that are present in your gut microbiome. So if you were to use this example, I like to use this, is that you compare the bacterial richness to a group of people who are going to organize by occupation. Richness would be all of the occupations present, and diversity would be the number of each of those people. So, for instance, doctors, firefighters, teachers, whatever else, right? So that's a huge thing, right? Diversity, as I said, would be the number in those. So 127 doctors, 81 teachers, 62 firefighters. With high richness and diversity, you have a much more capable and resilient community, okay? When you have lots of type of people, you have different specialties available when something goes wrong. But if you're missing a firefighter or you're missing a police officer, I live in a community where we have a lot of police officers. If you're missing those, you have a tendency to be short on things. I don't want the doctor putting out my fire. Okay, sorry, docs, but and when you look at this diversity and what it's associated with, low gut diversity is related to so many different things, and you can see this: obesity, insulin resistance, high cholesterol, inflammation, type 1 diabetes, type 2, Crohn's disease, colorectal cancer, ulcerative colitis, celiac disease, allergies, PCOS, fatigue. But you don't hear anybody teaching about it. Why? because they're mostly teaching one size fits all information. They're teaching you about things that really are something that they just maybe went to school with. They didn't research or dive deep. So and listen, it's by no means is this the only thing. And most of these things that you hear about inflammation and everything that I just listed are all can make you sick and cause leading to those diseases. So what do you do? How do you increase gut microbiome diversity and live a healthier life? Well, you feed them diverse foods. So our ancestors used to have a lot more. Sorry about that. Our ancestors used to have a lot more less. Let me rephrase this. Okay, our ancestors used to have a lot more microbes than we did. My grandmother, my grandfather. Okay, in fact, the hunter-gatherer groups didn't have the chronic illness like we do today. Diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune, they were really non-existent. And I grew up in that time and I saw it. I didn't see my grandmother sick. I didn't see my grandfather sick. I mean, my uncle just died at 92 years old, and so did my aunt. I mean, my aunt is still living at 92 years old. And I would go into that a little bit deeper about why I think my uncle's not alive. I think he would have lived to be 100 plus. So this diversity has decreased through reduced food varieties, eating highly processed foods, moving to cities where there isn't dirt for your kids to play in. Nobody's playing in the sandbox anymore. Everybody's on a video game, right? Because these microbes play a huge role in keeping our immune system on their toes, to be honest with you. And the decrease of these microbial diversities, it's significantly weakened our immune system. Okay, so when you think about that, each of those different microbes have different foods they prefer. Why is it that your diet is most important to your health? Not only food, because food nourishes us, but it nourishes our microbes. And so we have to have a variety of foods. We can't eat chicken all the time. I ate chicken way too much and I became sensitive to chicken and don't eat it anymore. I used to like popcorn. I can't eat it anymore. Once a month, really. Okay. Unfortunately, our food system has been really, to be honest with you, you know, it's been just diverse, right? And so for the past few decades, the species of foods and higher yields of them have just decreased. Okay. So this is why we've gone from having over like a few dozen types of lettuce to about 3 in most supermarkets, and mainly iceberg, romaine, and butter, right? If you're lucky, there might be a bag of a mix or two of these varieties, but it's largely limited, right? That's why I tell people on a global scale, if you kind of look at the United Nations Food and Agricultural report, is that our food diversity has dropped 75% in the last 100 years. Wow. Fortunately, as consumers, we're pushing for a return to diversity, and we've seen this in the recent years, right? We need it, right? An increase in diversity in our supermarket shelves isn't enough. I'm just going to be honest with you. Everyone's gut microbiome is completely different. That's why I do DNA testing. I would encourage you, if you've never had one done, do it. The information doesn't go into the computer, but it tells you what you should eat, tells you what your body wants. Everything is captured in our DNA. Everything. Okay? So I will tell you this. There's a lot of essential things, but I'm going to give you an idea of what I do and what you should do and we do this with all our clients. That's why I just got off the phone with one of my clients today, and we were talking about, she's in her mid 30s and she hasn't been the weight that she at since the last 7 or 8 years. And I asked her today, what was the number one thing that you've learned in the last 8 weeks with me? And she said that I have to rotate the foods I eat. I'm Mexican. I eat the same foods all the time. Why? because you just got to be a habit of it. So I want to encourage you, if you've not went through and learned about richness and diversity, I would tell you I'm going to put this PDF in this here at this video. I hope that you guys will take it and learn more about it. And if you need more help, you can find me at michaeldavidhuey.com. That's where you can find access to getting a DNA test done. But I hope that this has really encouraged you to learn more about richness and diversity, and that you'll continue to learn and grow from this. So thank you for listening. God bless. Take care.